From the Kansas City Public Schools, you are watching KCPS-TV. Our stories, our schools, our station.
Well, welcome to KCPS-TV. My name is Justin Robinson. I'm the KCPS-TV coordinator. Well, in 2012, Dr. Stephen Green was named superintendent of the Kansas City Public Schools by a unanimous school board vote. At that time, KCPS was unaccredited by the state. Under Green's leadership, the district has improved each year and now holds a provisional accreditation by the state. Although getting to where we are right now was no easy task, the administration admits the next steps will probably be more difficult. Currently, KCPS has to make important decisions about the future of the district. The process to make those decisions are underway right now, and it's called the master plan. Well, today I'm joined with Dr. Stephen Green, superintendent of the school districts, also Chief Academic and Accountability Officer, Dr. Vicki Murillo, and Chief Financial Officer, Al Tunis. We will discuss the master plan right now and really want to take a look at how this is affecting students and really from their perspective what they need to know. So Dr. Green, I will start with you. From the student and parent perspective, you know, why is it important to go through this master plan process?
Well, we're going to be making some significant decisions down the way, and it's important that we review and look at our resources, we look at our priorities, and we begin to align our resources with our priorities. We haven't done this for a while. So it's very, very important that we have all stakeholders' voices and perspectives on the table as we make some important decisions. We have a limited amount of resources, and we have a lot of different things that we want to do. And so the public has been asked, if you had an extra $1 million, what would you do with it? How would you prioritize it? And the decisions that we make are the decisions that are going to be based on the information that we receive from all perspectives, all stakeholders. So that's what we're going through right now, listening, sharing with the folks who are there to see what the distribution of resources happens to be. But that includes taking a serious look at our buildings, whether we have a surplus of buildings, whether we're spread too widely in those buildings, whether we need to reallocate resources and actually close some buildings. Those are the kinds of things that we're going to talk about, and we've got an expert team represented by MGT that is guiding us through the process in an objective and very deliberate way. And
Dr. Murillo, at the end of this process, academically, what benefits could our students and parents receive as a result of this master plan process?
Well, through the process, we're learning what our parents and students would like to have and be involved in. And the process will allow us to look at the elective courses and the after-school co-curricular and the sports programs that our students really want to see at every high school. It's really helping us look at the equity among our schools, and that it's taking a deeper look at what all students would like to participate in.
And Mr. Tunis, financially, our decision, obviously all school districts have to make tough decisions financially. That's really in your area, and also the master planning process under all is kind of falling under your area. Can you tell us kind of what is the master plan, what are the goals of it, and kind of the process right now that you're going through? I know we had some meetings back in the winter time and are still having some continued meetings. Can you tell us, kind of walk us through that process?
Sure. Well, first of all, I think what Dr. Green has already indicated is that everything that we do is about priorities. And the goals that we set for this process really focus around three areas. One, and that's academic achievement, student academic achievement. What we do, we want to make sure that we put our resources to increase academic achievement. So we want to make sure that those priorities are where they need to be to see that kind of improvement. The second thing we want to do is we want to see an increase in our enrollment. And we believe that if we're providing the kind of opportunities and experiences for our children and their families, that this is the place, this is the point and the place of destination that our families are going to want to be. They're going to want to be at KCPS. And so we want to make sure that we're meeting their needs, and as a result of that, we'll hit our second goal, which will be to increase our enrollment. And then the third goal is that the district continue to maintain its financial stability. We know that, again, priorities are going to be based on that student achievement, increasing our enrollment, and all of that's going to cost something. We've got to maintain our financial stability. Our Board of Education is adamant about the fact that we present to them a balanced budget under Dr. Green's leadership. We've done that in 3 years. We have every intent to do that into the future and still find ways to improve student achievement and increase our enrollment. We believe the master plan and its process will allow us to do that. And I think that when we began the process a year ago, we wanted to identify what were those needs that were perceived not only by our parents, our community, but our students as well. What were they looking for? Why do they want to be here? And so it's a process that we're going through that's engaging our community, our stakeholders, to find out exactly what that is. We depend heavily on our academic team to determine what it is that is needed for to improve our academic achievement. Our academic team is working closely with building principals and teachers to identify what those are, and this process enables us to gather a wealth of information and really narrow it down so that we can make some recommendations to our Board of Education and onto our community to maintain those 3 goals that we met, and that's the process that we're trying to follow.
And this is open to all of you. What are you finding that students are wanting when you're hearing some feedback from them? What are they looking for to kind of bring them back to the school district?
Well, I think one of the things we're hearing is that students want more co-curricular or extracurricular activities. We're trying to bring that back. It's something that was considerably cut back, if not cut away altogether during a large part of right-sizing. We're trying to bring that back, and as you can see, the investment in the IL field, the investment in the auditoriums at Lincoln and at Paseo Academy, those were beginnings of investment in the facility for those, but also bringing back the activities. The curricular kinds of things that go with those facilities is an important step in the right direction. But we're hearing that students want more of that. More options in athletics, in debate, and other types of clubs and things like that. We're hearing a strong emphasis in that, and so that's a loud and clear voice.
And aren't those things, I know you all have been in education for a number of years, aren't those things what really keeps the kids coming back to school? The extracurricular activity, the sports, the proms, the yearbook, aren't those the things that really bring the kids in?
It engages them.
I think it's not just the extracurricular, but it's also what's offered during the school day. I think programs like the one we're involved in right now, engaging students in real life experiences as it relates to what might grab their interest, and so they're going to return because we've provided them opportunities and choices where they can experience different kinds of learning environments to determine where they want to move their careers as they become responsible adults.
And our district has kind of really began to put that focus on the connections and the careers. Especially in our middle school, we have what we call an exploration wheel, and the students are able to look at 4 different career paths during their 7th grade and next year during their 8th grade. And then we're aligning now, one thing that we've heard is that diverse course offering. That aligns to career pathways, and we are beginning to really get that alignment in place from 7th, 8th, now 9, 10, and then having capstones here at the CTE program for 11 and 12. So we can really, the students will begin to see that we're hearing what they're after and the voice that they're speaking from, and that is more selections, more options.
And to piggyback on Dr. Moreau's point, the fact that we even have middle schools was a loud and clear voice that we heard, a movement back to the kind of education that is customized and age appropriate for the students that are in the middle, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. The fact that we've moved back to the middle school and are in the process of completing that was the first big step in listening to what parents and students wanted. The 7 through 12 high school model educationally wasn't good, and it wasn't good socially for our students.
And both of you kind of mentioned where we are now. And just for those who are watching, we are in the Culinary Arts Department kitchen right now. The culinary program goes on right here behind us at Manual Career Technical Education Center here, part of our Career Technical Education program in the Kansas City Public Schools. And also we have inside of here another part of CTE, which is our KCPS-TV broadcast program. We have 4 cameras set up in here, directors, technical directors, all set up by students within the Kansas City Public Schools. As you mentioned, this is kind of what you say, engages kids. They get to see the possibilities outside of just doing the academic work inside the classroom. You see, this actually leads to something in their future.
Yeah, we think it sets, that allows them to kind of explore and see a career path that they may be interested in, or they may realize that they don't want to do this by having this experience. But the fact that they've been able to kind of weigh in on it and get a taste of it, and actually see how it applies, not only from the book work to the actual application and practice, and test the waters, kick the tires, so to speak, in different careers.
And you mentioned earlier, part of this process, it could be a situation where some buildings may have to close. And when you start talking about closing buildings, I know people start worrying about their jobs and the finances and things like that. As part of this master plan process, what can you guys kind of say to the public, the students, to let them understand what's going on and what may be necessary?
Well, first of all, we want to assure the viewing and listening public that we will be guided by the information that we receive from the public and from those stakeholders, the philanthropic community, the business community, parents, teachers, students. We want to hear everything. We do know that we want more as a school district than we have resources to get. We can't buy it all. We may have to break it up in stages. We may have to not do some things. But we do have to recognize that reducing our spending according to our size is a necessary process. And so at some point we're going to wrestle with some tough decisions on what facilities to leave open, what programs to continue, what programs to put on pause, what programs to discontinue altogether. We have to wrestle with that decision, but it's not our decision by ourselves. It's a decision in collaboration with the entire community. We hope that we don't get to the point where we do have to do any layoffs. We don't think that that's necessarily on the radar screen. We may not renew some positions that we have, but we don't get to that point. But it all depends on where the information and the conversation guides us about priorities and what's a high priority and what can be set aside.
I think the other thing to piggyback along with Dr. Green, I think for our employees, one of the things, again, that Dr. Green has done since he's been here is to provide opportunities for our employees as well as our students. And so through this planning process, we're going to identify what those priorities are going to be. And if we have an employee who might have an interest, we'll provide opportunities and the means in professional development so that it may shift what they're currently doing to do something a little bit different that fits with the priorities of the districts. A society changes constantly. Our jobs change. They're not what they were when we were all trained for them. And so a good professional development program, knowing far enough in advance what's going to be needed for the district, will give our employees that opportunity to seek what's necessary in order for them to remain and stay gainfully employed and meet the needs of our district.
And that's why it's important for everyone to get involved in this process. As we mentioned along, this is a process. You're not making an independent decision based on what you guys sit in a room and decide. It is a process. The first part of the process, a series of meetings this fall. And now we're in another series of meetings. And can you speak more about why it's important for everyone, current staff members, community members, and students to show up at these series of meetings that we are having to voice their opinion?
I think it's important because we want all voices to be heard. And we want to make sure that we have something for all students, no matter what their interest is, that interest is heard and it's on the radar screen of the district to see what we can do to meet the needs of all students in every building. And I really encourage the staff so the staff can catch a vision of what the district is talking about and having input and being a part of charting that course.
Well, again, I think things that we have talked about, I think it's not just the stakeholders, but it sets the stage for the direction for the district. And our district is just one piece of our entire community. We talk a lot about economic development and economic development tools for Kansas City. What is it that attracts a business to Kansas City? And oftentimes that gets associated with financial incentives. But we believe a strong educational system will be the best economic development tool that this city could offer any prospective employer or business who might want to locate in Kansas City. Having them sitting at the table, helping us, assisting us in making that determination, provides that buy-in and gives them a first-hand experience of what we can and make available to the community as a whole.
Now, as we were talking with some of the TV students in here right now about what we were discussed here today, they had a few questions. And so we have one question from Paseo Senior Michael Miller. She would want to know about the possibility of merging some charter schools with KCPS. So this is coming from a student. What's your reaction to that question?
Well, we're having conversations about that sort of thing now in terms of different types of partnerships. I think the thing to keep in mind is that the Kansas City Public Schools is reinventing itself and re-imaging itself. We are not the Kansas City Public Schools of old. As Mr. Tuna said, not only do jobs and individuals change, but organizations can't be what they were. They have to enter into a new era. We're entering into a new era, coming back from being unaccredited, provisionally accredited now, well on the way to full accreditation. We're coming into this community and we're extending an olive branch that recognizes what we are is in this day and age, and that is a collaboration. We realize that the journey we have to go to get to the next level can't be done in isolation. Too many times, organizations, businesses, people have isolated themselves and have become extinct by nature of their isolation. We are not going to be in that situation. We're constantly looking at new and innovative ways. That includes looking at collaboration with charter schools. We've worked together in some areas before, but in this case, we were looking at other kind of organizational ways that a common goal that we have could be reached. That's not to say that's the only way. That we are looking at collaborating, because we're collaborating with the philanthropic community, we're collaborating with business community, we're collaborating with many of our partners in the faith-based community. So we are about collaboration because we realize getting to the next level involves that. That includes perhaps looking at children and what they need, and are we better working together to serve the needs of a child rather than working in isolation and separation. So that is on the radar screen, and it's something that we are open to, but it has to be right. It has to be mutually beneficial. That's what a partnership is. It's got to be mutually beneficial for both.
And you face a lot of unique situations when you're talking about an urban inner city school district, because you have the charter schools and you have some Catholic schools, and you just have a lot of competing schools for the students, and so it's difficult to be able to serve the ones you want, but that's why you say you're trying to reinvent this school district to not use a model that was developed 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years ago. You're trying to put a model together with this master plan that fits our current group of students and how to educate them.
Correct.
Now, another one of our students, Darius Carter, another senior at Paseo Academy, part of TV program. This question I know is a little bit premature, but I still want to present what he's asking you. He said, if we were to combine schools, what schools would you combine? And again, I know the question's fairly premature in the process, but just can you kind of explain to them why this is a little premature in the process?
Well, I'll say it's premature because we don't have all the information that we need to make such a decision. You know, a lot of it looks at the program itself, but also looks at where the program's located and the facility that the program's in. If you know the facility is used only 10% capacity, and maybe it could be relocated here. So it's really looking about the program itself and where it's located and what makes sense in terms of any kind of cross connection or cohabitation that might be there. But it's very early in that process, and we have no way of knowing that just yet. We've got a lot of research to do.
Well, I think in addition to that, I think there are a number of factors that come into play. We'll look at the condition of all of our buildings, the total amount of money it would take to bring a building into compliance, what we believe to be a strong, solid educational facility. Not only that, the demographics and the location of where our people live, our students. Where is our targeted population? What are we trying to accomplish in each one of those schools? So there are a variety of factors that will be built, and those are all under investigation right now. Part of that is comes forward from the engagement in the community, but there's a lot of information that will be factored in before any recommendations are made.
You spoke of engagement in the community. That's another question that just came in. the question is ask about the lack of community involvement. I've gone to some of the earlier master plan meetings, and I've sat in the room and there have been people out there in the rooms, but in all honesty, from my opinion, the demographics of the people I saw in that room didn't automatically kind of match the demographics of some of the students I'm used to working with. So from my opinion, it looks like we're not really getting some of the involvement of our major stakeholders to come to those meetings and express their opinions. So what can we do, or what should the community understand about why it's important to engage right now and not after maybe a decision is made or a decision's on the table?
Well, it's critical. It's critical that all stakeholders find some time and opportunity to get involved. This is a major, significant moment in terms of the crossroads of the Kansas City Public Schools as we try to make major decisions, not only just for now, the here and now, but this will impact 10, 12 years from now. It will have an impact. And so we're setting the stage, as Mr. Tunis said, for what the future will look like. So it's important that they be involved. We are looking at that and concerned about that very thing, the underrepresentation of certain stakeholders and the underrepresentation period of the community. So even though we've had involvement through the paper and pencil survey, and we've had involvement through technology, etc., we want more. That we cannot get enough. And so we actually have created another round of community engagement, recognizing that we didn't have enough of a sampling, of enough of a representation of engagement. So that's kind of pushed us to have another round to make sure that we create opportunities, and we're going to make sure that people wrestle with and participate with us in wrestling with some of these major decisions. We think ultimately we're going to come out with the right decision. We know that for sure, but the more engagement we have ensures that the decision that we ultimately wind up with is the best decision going forward.
And we're making this recording on Monday, January 26th, and this week there are a series of meetings that you can see if you go to our website. That's kcpublicschools.org. You can go to that website. You also can go to our website for our TV station, KCPS-TV.org, and we'll have a list of those dates. But also, as this will continue to air throughout some of the semester, there will be other dates that you can go to those websites and you can see the different times that the community will be engaged throughout this process. Anything else you all would like to add about this master plan process that we're currently involved in?
One of the things, I'll invite my colleagues to chime in here, but this is about informed decision making. This is not a decision that's going to be made on the basis of emotion and some kind of whimsical or backroom decision. This is the Kansas City Public Schools being very transparent about the variables at play, about the priorities that exist, the direction that we're headed, and being guided by the public's input. So as you said earlier, it's critical that in these early meetings, I know it takes time, that folks come forward, get involved, share their perspective, make sure it's in the mix of any decision that we make. I think it's just very, very critical.
I was going to say it's important that everyone's voice is heard. We invite all stakeholders because we want to hear their voice, and we are looking at every building. It's not that some may think you're just pulling pieces of the district out, but we are looking at every building. So every stakeholder that attends has students that live in the community. They should be at the table.
I think the one thing that I have gained from this experience so far is really identifying what's important to people, what's important to our educators, what's important to meet those goals, what's important for us to improve student achievement. And I think as Dr. Green indicated earlier, we can't do everything for everyone. The financial resources won't allow us to do that. So priorities become a major factor in what it is that we do and what sets the tone of the district as we go forward. This is that opportunity for community engagement, for our students to get involved so that it does set the tone for the future, making sure that we meet the needs in order to help achieve the goals that we've set out for ourselves.
And thank you, Mr. Tunis. Thank you, Dr. Murillo. Thank you, Dr. Green. We will have more of these discussions to help inform the community about what is going on throughout this process. We also want to do these to help get some feedback from the community about what's going on throughout the master plan process, because this plan, again, as you said, will reinvent KCPS and take us into the future so we can best educate our students. Again, thank you all for joining us and have a great day.
It is something that is unique, but something that can be improved, something that can be modernized.
We want our school to look like we could be the best as we can be, and be a school that parents are going to say that this is a really good school that our kids can go to.
Everywhere we go, it's just, you can't feel cooler in one place. Usually it's just hot everywhere. It's hard to walk around and be cool.
I like the desk. It's just with all our stuff, we don't have enough room for everything that we need at our desk.
Turf. Turf
And pavement.
I say the improvements that can be made is the auditorium, the football field, the restrooms, more painting in the hallways.
So that we have the school spirit to do what we have to do. See, now that we have air conditioning, new desks and tables, new windows, it makes us feel eager to want to come to school and learn. You know, we're ready for the day.
You have nothing to be ashamed of. I think that the test scores and that the grades were improved in the school because of the new air conditioning system.
Since improvements have been made, people have been more mature about it and take more care of the school.
I'm very happy because it's a better learning experience for me, not only as a senior, but to also have my younger siblings go here and grow up in a place that has new improvements. We're very proud.
Yeah.
It's when you have more kids that's here ready to learn than here just ready to get out of high school, it brings up the school, it brings up the district, and also brings up the community. What I say to them is that thank you for what you're doing and just keep on working.
That we need better improvement of our school and make it a better place.
I appreciate the fact that you guys are looking out for us and appreciating that we do need more upgrades in the school. And I would like to say that I hope this is only the beginning of the upgrades.
Help us make our building better. Help us make our learning better.
Help us make it happen!
We want great schools, don't you?
Help us make it better.
Our schools made some physical improvements over the summer. Contractors took over 3 schools in the district. East High School, Northeast High School, and Benjamin Banneker Elementary School all received vital upgrades. The halls of these schools were filled with sawdust while workers were chipping away to finish the renovations before the doors were to reopen. Painting, wiring, and welding were all some of the needs that were being upgraded to each school. The $20 million project was funded by qualified construction bonds. Though it was cut close, all renovations were completed by the start of 2013 school year. Lincoln Prep and Paseo Academy received upgrades over the summer as well. Both schools' theaters were improved. All 3 of Paseo theaters were upgraded. Lincoln Prep's main theater was redone. Auditoriums at both schools host multiple community events. The purpose of the $2 million renovations were to improve the seating, lighting, and overall environment of both schools' theaters. Already this year, each school has hosted events and plays in their theaters. Thank you for watching this KCPS-TV News Brief. I'm Matthew Locklear.